The next episode of The Commercial Break starts now.
Oh, yeah, cats and kittens, welcome back to The Commercial Break. I'm Bryan Green. This is my dear friend and the co-host of this show, Krissy Joy Hoadley. Best to you, Krissy.
Best to you, Bryan.
And best to you out there in the podcast universe. Thanks for joining us. Just a few moments away, Krissy, from the TCB's Endless Day, sponsored by 5 Hour Energy, in which we put out 12 episodes in a 24-hour period and hope that we don't ourselves end up in a mental institution.
That's correct.
But I have a plan. I've got a plan, and if we stick to the plan, it's less likely that we'll go to the mental institution. So There you go. And I did offer you a hotel room. You said no. I thought, hey, Krissy, why would you want to stay here? Why would you want to be subjected to all of this bullshit when you can just take a break from time to time and run over to a luxurious suite at the Hampton Inn?
No, that was very sweet of you to think about me like that. But I'm just going to power through. It's going to be fine. I'm excited.
We're fine. We're fine.
Yeah.
Seven tops.
Plus,
7 hours of recording.
living out of a suitcase for the past month.
Yeah, no, I get that. You don't want to do it anymore. You just don't want to do it. I do get that. I do understand it. That's got to be. How was the barbecue fest?
It was amazing.
Yeah.
I ran into our favorite person, Jackie Beans.
Jackie Beans! Jackie
I
Beans!
sent him the song.
And?
He loved it.
He did.
I loved it. Everybody around us loved it.
Of all the songs I've created now, which is like 102, Jackie Beans has got to be the most glowing of the songs because I don't say a bad word about Jackie Beans.
Yes, and he is in fact a legend amongst many others as well.
Yeah, I
many
can
other people
see.
think so.
Yeah, of course, I can see why. I mean, he follows around a pretty mysterious and cool dude himself, right? Doesn't follow him around. They work together.
Yes.
And so he works with this guy who is legendary in and of himself in so many different ways. And he lives a life that not many people live with, airplanes and Jackie Beans. And, there's just like a lot of things that kind of life can afford you. Hard-earned, well-earned, but still, nonetheless, that's a life. And then so I think like by default, you're already a legend, but then to be such a cool human being.
Yeah.
You move up into some kind of
upper echelon.
Yeah, like some stratospheric, universal, cool dude status.
Yeah.
And I just wish I had more Jackie Beans in my life.
We all do. I've got his direct number now.
I wish I had an airplane, quite frankly. I wish I had an airplane that I could sell and take the money and use it for something good, like, school for my children or food for the house or something like that. What was the best barbecue you tasted?
Oh, God. It was all good.
They can't have all been good.
Well, yeah, because, so there were like 75 teams that were competing, but you're not tasting all of their stuff.
Okay.
So Jeff and the team, they have a couple of like really major, barbecue superstars from around the world that come in and cook. It's called Live Fire.
Okay.
So they come in and cook and do the sampling and all of that. So Al Fragoni was this one guy who's, he's
cool.
Big. Melissa Cookston was there. She's on the Netflix Barbecue Showdown show. She's a judge.
Okay.
She's like 7-time world champion. Anyways, they have these fantastic barbecue masters that come in and cook. And so they do a lot of sampling.
So they have pit masters essentially that come in and they do the cook. And then of those 75 teams, not everybody enters the contest. Is that right?
No. So all 75 teams are entering the contest. The public isn't sampling their stuff. Only they get judged.
Oh, okay.
So what Jeff and the team does, they have these other people who come in. They're not competing.
They're just
already
feeding
won.
the public.
They've won multiple awards around the world.
Yeah.
So they're just feeding the public, cooking and feeding the public.
Okay, got you. I would think that as a part of that whole organization, you might be one of the judges or something. Yes, you. Why wouldn't you jump in?
Well, I like barbecue, but it's not my profession.
I just imagine like a Top Chef situation where you're like the guest judge or something.
Right.
Krissy Hoadley from
Maybe
The Commercial
in the future,
Break.
I'll put the bug in Jeff's ear.
That's what I'd do. I'd angle to be the judge. I'd want to be judging food and harshly too. I'd want to be like, this is too salty. What is this? A salt lick? Is this for a horse? I'm not sure. I've been watching way too much Top Chef, I think.
Yeah.
I think I need
You've
to
been on a
slow
Top
down.
Chef
3
kick.
months. For 3 months, I've gone from season 9 to season 22 in 3 months. And I just love that show. I think it is it is the classiest reality show in television history, my opinion, no doubt about it. And it's so well done that even if you don't know shit from this, is coming from a guy who eats cream and cereal. It's not like I have super taste buds, and I don't know half the terms that they're using. But I feel like I'm a food expert after watching an episode.
I bet you've picked up
of
some
Top
tips
Shelf.
and tricks.
Sure, I don't. These people seem to have extraordinarily refined palates.
Oh,
it's like the acidity cuts through the saltiness, and the fat melts with the with the yams and the clams and the bad and
There's a science to it all.
yeah. And I'm like, can I get an extra piece of American cheese on my cheeseburger? I don't have that kind of palate. I just don't. But there is a science to it, and people seem to have very refined palates, and they can taste things inside of other things. I could never do that. I'm not one to be able to pick out things on top of things, but I just love the show. I think
it is a fantastic. There's
so
a
good.
reason it's been around for so long.
I could see this show going on forever, quite frankly, just swapping out judges. I mean, when Tom leaves, if Tom leaves, that'll be a big hit to the show. I mean, a big knock to the show. But I also thought that about Padma, and the new hostess is pretty good in and of herself. I still miss Padma, but not as much. Like, I think had someone else been in that slot, I wouldn't have missed it. So in case you don't know, in Top Chef, Padma Lakshmi was the host along with Tom Colicchio for 19 of the first 20 seasons. Padma actually was not a judge for one of the seasons, but and then she decided to bow out after season 20, and now they have a new hostess. And Tom is like a very celebrated chef. He's like one of the world's best chefs. He's a very celebrated chef, and everyone wants to impress him. The thing that makes Top Chef different is that, unlike American Idol or any of these other shows where you get good and you get bad, but none of them are particularly accomplished. They're all just people off the street. I mean, some of them have followings on social media, or maybe they've made a record here or a record there, but none of them have achieved
They're
kind of. They're amateurs. But that's a good way to put it. They're amateurs. And so you get terrible, terrible people singing, and you get wonderful, wonderful people singing. It's a roll of the dice, and they focus on that terrible as a big part of the first, 5 episodes of the season. Top Chef made the smart call from the beginning that we are not going to take any amateur. This is not an amateur cooking competition. We want the best of the best. And even though the first few seasons, because it was new, I don't think they got the best of the best. I think they got up and coming chefs, but they were still very talented. Well, now it's just like, these are James Beard Award winners. They work at 3-star Michelin restaurants. These are like superstar chefs that are walking in the door cooking this kind of food. And all I can say is I would die for one afternoon in the Top Chef kitchen to have them cook me something, and I still don't think I would be able to taste the yams through the clams. I don't think so. But I think I could say, well, that tastes good, or that doesn't taste good. They use a lot of bones and oxtail and chicken gizzards and guinea fowl and stuff like that.
Kind of all parts of the animal.
Yeah. That part, I could pass on that part. But if they made it taste good, maybe.
I had oxtail in Jamaica.
I've had oxtail.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite thing in the world.
No, it's not my favorite, but it was good.
No, it was okay. It wasn't my favorite thing in the world, but if, in a pinch, if you put a menu in front of me and you said, onion salad, if you said, onion salad, live baby octopus, or oxtail, I'd eat the oxtail. No doubt about it. If you said beef heart or oxtail, I'd go for the oxtail. If you said fowl, or what do they call that?
Fowl.
There's a part of the chicken that is not typically used, and the offal. That's what they call it. There's a part of the chicken that's not used. It's like the insides, the intestines, the guts, the weird parts, and they call it offal, the chicken offal. And I was watching Top Chef a couple of weeks ago, whatever season it was, and there were a couple of chefs that were using the offal to cook a down-home Southern meal.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, why would you ever want to put chicken intestines in anything that you put in your mouth? I mean, that's just, to me, that's beyond the pale. But, hey, listen, these are accomplished chefs, and they can do wonderful things. They can work magic with just a few simple ingredients. Krissy. And so as a part of our relationship with your husband, I think you specifically, but maybe I can make it if I can find a babysitter, we should be judges on the next barbecue
SmokeSlam.
SmokeSlam. I think that only makes sense.
Well,
Or
let me talk to Jeff about it.
do they give away awards?
Yes.
What is the award for like the best?
Well, I mean, they give away money and then they give away an actual award.
What is the cash that's given for
Well, total, it's the most in the world. It's $250,000.
$250,000?
But the grand champion or whatever gets 50. But yeah, it's broken up by different categories and things and whatever.
Well, holy shit. $50,000?
Yeah, $50,000.
Wow, that is an incredible amount of cash for cooking some pig. Do you know what I'm saying? Wow, I'm in the wrong business.
I know.
I am in the wrong
We need to get a
fucking
smoker
business.
and go on the road.
Yeah, I'm just that.
People do that. The people that do these competitions a lot, I mean, they just travel around doing it.
Yeah. I mean, I had there's a guy that was married to a stepsister of mine at one point, and he likened himself one of these, pit master dudes. The barbecue was always terrible, but we smiled and ate
You
it.
humored him.
Yeah, we humored him. That's what he wanted to do. He wanted to take a bunch of the money that she had earned because she was working and he wasn't, that she had earned to buy a trailer and a hitch and go around, and he was going to be the next, smazmic, phantasmic barbecue guy. And no one had the heart to tell him. It's kind of like American Idol. No one had the heart to tell him that you probably shouldn't do that. Luckily, they divorced before he spent their money on some barbecue hitch and a wagon. I'll never forget, it was Thanksgiving, and my dad and my stepmom had slaved over a turkey. And so we were all going to, it wasn't. It was turkey or was it ham? I can't remember. In any case, it was something. They had slaved over
what
it.
it was.
Yeah, it was memorable. They had slaved over it, and they said to everybody, we're cooking, we got it, no problem.
Yeah.
Everything's on the table. Don't bring anything, bring yourselves. An invitation
nice.
to Thanksgiving dinner. Yeah, of course. And that's how it goes, right? People cook, whatever. Anyway. So before I got there, there was a big to-do, a dust-up, if you will, because this guy who likened himself to, spasmic, phantasmic, the next barbecue pitmaster, he brought an entire, barbecued pig or whatever it was. He brought it over after they had slaved to make Thanksgiving dinner. He brought it over thinking that everybody would like his better than they like. They're like just a douchey move of just you trying to steal the show, so to speak. Yeah, I thought it was to me, it was rather rude. I thought to myself, that's not the right thing to do. If you want to bring your own barbecue, you should communicate that you want to bring your own barbecue. I mean, unless you have some kind of food allergy or something like that. I can't eat that food, so I'm bringing my own food. There's absolutely no reason to do that. And anyway, he brought it over, and we didn't ended up tasting it, but that was all we all were excited about that because we didn't like his food anyway. It was just not all that good. Hey, guess what I did this weekend?
What did you do?
I went to go see Tom Papa.
Oh, our friend Tom.
And I went to the zoo.
Oh, you were down near me.
And I went to the zoo. And yeah, you weren't there. And I did a daddy-daughter date where I got to see some reptiles and animals up close and touch them. It was a very interesting weekend for me. I mean, amongst a million other things that I was doing, that was one of the things that I got to do with my daughter.
Those are some good highlights.
I agree with you. I'll share them with you when we get back. So, excuse me. I don't know if something's coming on. I'm getting something right in time for at TCB's Endless Day, or what's going on here.
No, I've been saying the same thing too. I think there's some kind of allergy.
I don't know what it is, but I'm not feeling 100. I'm not feeling 100%. In case you can't even hear it in my voice, I'm sure you can, but I'm not feeling 100%. Stress will do that to you, by the way. Stress will wear you down.
Yes, it will.
Yeah.
So
Tom
your weekend,
Papa.
Yes.
invited us.
Friday was Tom
Yes.
Papa.
We just in case you don't know, TCB's Endless Day, which is on Saturday the 31st, sponsored by 5 Hour Energy. Much thanks to 5 Hour Energy, because if they weren't involved, we might have canceled it a long time ago. We might just not show up. But so we are recording the 6 celebrity interviews ahead of time so that we don't have trouble coordinating all of that on the day of. And then Krissy and I will be doing 6 or 7 hours worth of live recordings here inside of the studio and putting them out as soon as they're done. So that's like the minutia of how this is all going to go down. But so we recorded Tom Papa the other day in preparation for the Endless Day. And during that conversation, it came up that Tom was going to be in Atlanta, and he generously offered to give us tickets.
Yes.
So Krissy couldn't go because she was going to be at SmokeSlam. But, you know, it's just like when Ari did this to us, when Ari was like, hey, I'll get you tickets.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Just hit me up. And I was like directly texting with Ari. That made me a little bit nervous because, you know, when you have a friend and you're like, hey, can you get an extra ticket to the Pearl Jam show? That's one thing.
Right.
But when you're texting Pearl Jam, hey, can I have an extra ticket to your Pearl Jam show? That's a whole different thing altogether.
Yeah.
It just feels like you're taking money out of their pocket, first of all. And second of all, you're not sure where the line is. So for Ari, I was like, yeah, can I get 30 tickets? Can I get 30 tickets? Everybody and their mother wants to go. But he was very generous too. Now, luckily this time I just decided, let's cut all the mustard. If Astrid can go with me, why don't I just ask Astrid to come with me, and it would just make it like a date night type of thing.
I love that.
Yeah. And so we reached out to Tom almost as soon as the interview was done. We reached out to his people, and he and his people generously were like, yes, of course, you know, go to the box office and go get some tickets. So he also was at the Tabernacle,
Yep.
just like Ari. Tom's first time at the Tabernacle, big room, seats like, I think 2,000, you know, 1,800, 2,000, something like that. It's a big room to see comedy in. It's a big venue in general. It's an old fucking church. I mean, it's a weird venue. Beautiful, but it's a weird venue, and it's a weird space to hold comedy in. Martin Luther King spoke inside of the Tabernacle at some point. What? Oh my gosh, someone's dying inside of my house. In case you didn't know, it's summer. So
summer.
you'll be hearing my children.
Are out.
Kids are out. You'll be hearing my children for the next 3 months. Congratulations to you. You're the winner. So Astrid and I, you know, we grab a babysitter, head on down to the Tabernacle. The crowd was interesting. The crowd, there were like children in the crowd, and I don't say like children like, you know, 6 or 7 year olds. Let's say 13 to 18 year olds. There were children, looked like they were with their parents. And then there were lots of what I would say older parents. It seemed like older couples that were in the crowd. So kind of, you know, Tom's not a spring chicken. I don't know how old he is, but he's older than I am. And, you know,
He's got some experience.
he's got some experience. He's been there. And it seems like a lot of people in the crowd had been there, had some experience also. So this was a very interesting mix for a comedy crowd. This is just interesting. We're trying to do an episode of the commercial break while my entire house says, no, you can't do an episode of the commercial break.
Be quiet. What's that?
Yeah, what's that? Silence? What? We would not make good monks in this house. No. So we show up at the venue. Tickets are awaiting us, and we sat down to watch Tom. And Tom did something very smart, I think, for the crowd. And the reason why I point out the age of the crowd is not to like knock Tom's crowd. He almost sold out, I think, the Tabernacle, which is a great accomplishment.
Yeah.
But the crowd was older, right? Now, I'm not talking like 60s, 70s. I'm talking like 40s, 50s, clearly, right? What he did that was smart is that the ticket said showtime 7:30, 7:31, the opening act comes on. The opening act knocks out 15 quick minutes. I forgot the name of the opening act. It knocks out 15 quick minutes, and without missing a beat, Tom is right on the stage directly after him. So by 7:45, Tom is on stage, making note that it's already late for most of the people in the crowd. That, you know, we should have started this at 5 if the traffic was okay. You know, next time I'll come to your house.
Yeah.
Krissy, I have to tell you, I'm not going to repeat his jokes. He's just too good at what he does. Tom Papa is a master of his craft.
Yes, he is.
And he had the crowd working. He had the crowd worked up in a way that I have rarely seen. Chris Rock, Tom Papa.
Yeah.
Two people who worked the crowd. And I don't mean like crowd work. Yes, he did some of that crowd interaction. He used some people in the audience in his act. He asked them what they did. He asked them why they were there. He asked them if they were married. And then he used that to bounce you could see his own material. He used those crowd interactions to further his 1 hour, right? So he playfully and beautifully intertwined this kind of back and forth with the audience and got us worked up into such a fucking tizzy that I was crying, like ugly crying, laughing.
I love that.
At Tom for like 15 minutes.
So fun.
He went on one string of jokes, one story, and I just was bawling. It was so fucking funny. He was talking about his wife and how, women, how, as they get older, they end up doing a bunch of good in society while men just turn into one big testicle, like one big ugly testicle, and their ears still grow and you get hair in the wrong places. I mean, he knocked it out of the fucking park. And I've never heard so much laughter in my entire life. And I don't say this because he gave me free tickets. I would have been complimentary.
It's his style, too. It's the jokes and his style.
Yes.
I love it.
His style is almost commercial breakage. Mm-hmm. It's to cut away to something else and then come back to the thing. Now, we don't always come back to the thing, but cut away, come back to the thing. Move over here, come back to the thing.
And he's pretty deadpan, too.
I think he's deadpan when he's with us in a conversation, but he was much more animated than I expected him to be. If you get a chance to go see Tom Papa.
Well, and his specials that are out, they're hilarious.
Do it all. Do all the Tom Papa you can. Everybody needs a little more Tom Papa in his life. He jabbed at, Musk and Trump, but he didn't take it, he knew the crowd. He didn't take it too far. And at the end, he just basically said, don't be cruel. Do whatever you want to, believe whatever you want to, just don't be cruel, right? And I thought that was a beautiful sentiment to which everybody kind of rose in applause, right? That was a good one. Go do all the Tom Papa that you can. You must. Before you die on this earth, you must consume as much Tom Papa as possible. He was really fucking good. He was great with us here. He's been great with us both times we've spoken to him. He was fantastic. And then afterwards, he took the time to sit and sign every person who wanted to, book, t-shirt, ticket stub, whatever it is that they brought. He went downstairs in the tabernacle and he stood there and met and greeted everybody who wanted to. No surcharge, nothing. I mean, you could buy, merch if you wanted to, I suppose. But
did you say hello?
No, I didn't because I didn't have time for all that. Plus, I just said hello to Tom. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, do I want to be the guy who takes up 5 minutes of Tom's time when there's plenty of people who've never said hello to him before?
Yeah,
and I have said
point.
It was like this dance in my head. As a matter of fact, I kind of darted in and out of the room for a second.
I could say
having a conversation with myself as Astrid was like, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? I mean, are you going to do it or are you not going to? You can do it if you want to do it. And I'm like, should I do it? I guess I should go say, is that kind of douchey move? Like, hey, thanks for the free, hey, I just spent 2 hours. Well, now I got more. I need more of your time. I didn't know. And does he want to talk to me? Like, is he looking for Bryan Green? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, is Tom Papa?
Is Bryan in the audience?
Yeah, is Bryan in the audience? Well, that's the ultimate dream, is that I was on this podcast, the commercial break.
Yeah.
Here, let me pull it up on the big screen right now, and we'll get everybody to follow. That's like the dream, right? But, we're not there yet. Or we may never be there. We'll probably never be there. But like, is Tom Papa, am I enriching Tom Papa's life in any way by going to say hello? No. Why? Because I just said hello to you last night. Like, I don't need to say hello to you. It's one of those
Okay, fair
things.
point.
So I bailed on the saying hello. And Tom, if you're listening, it's not because I don't love you. It's because really I'm neurotic and I didn't know what the fuck to do. I felt like I was in this, purgatory of go or don't go.
Yeah,
and,
should I, shouldn't I?
yeah, and in all circumstances, when I'm in that purgatory, I end up going because that's the right thing. Because I'm too afraid to make the other choice. But that one of the best nights of comedy I have ever enjoyed live was with Tom Papa. And I've seen some really good comedy, as you can imagine. We do go see we do see quite a bit of live comedy, have seen quite a bit of live comedy, and we certainly watch a lot of live comedy given the nature of the commercial break. And Tom Papa is up there, no doubt, with Chris Rock, no doubt about it. But that makes sense because they're all kind of in the same circle. Like, Rock and Seinfeld and Tom Papa, they're all friends. I mean, they all do these things together. So anyway, Tom Papa, great. Go see him if you get a chance.
I love it.
If he's within 100 miles of you, you got to make the effort to go. And the tickets, yeah, even though we got a pair of tickets, I was still willing to pay for them. They're only $31, $32, $33. It wasn't like...
That's affordable.
That for Tom Papa, I felt like that was good. I mean, unless you want to sit right in front where you're clearly going to get picked on by Tom, those are like $150.
Right.
You know, those people pay $150 for the privilege of being made fun of by Tom. You know what I'm saying? One poor couple just got it.
Some people really like that.
Some people, I think, relish in the opportunity to be called out. They want that moment because they'll never have it. They don't have a commercial break. Like, that's their moment. But it's a double-edged sword because there was one couple in the crowd and Tom was asking them what if they had dogs, to which they said, yes, we have 3. What kind of dogs are there? Oh, well, we have a schnitzel doodle, Oh, okay, a schnitzel doodle. Yeah, I have one of those small little shithead dogs, blah, 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 blah. Tom goes on a rant about his dogs. Oh, what is the other dog? It's a shit fiend or something. We call him a shit fiend. It's a mix between a shih tzu and a fiendle-doodle. And he's like, a shit fiend? And he looks at the guy and he goes, this is with the lady talking, with the couple. And he goes, I bet you didn't walk around at the beginning of your life, like in your 20s, saying to yourself, when I get older, what I really want is a shit fiend running around my house. And then he asked him what time they got up today. He asked one guy at the other side, what time did you get up today? I got up early. What time is early? 7 o'clock, to which people were like, oh, that's kind of early, not early. He's like, yeah, that's early. That's early. That's 7 o'clock's early. If you don't have kids, that's early. He goes back to the couple. What time did you two get up with your shit fiends? 10 o'clock. And everyone was like, that's not early, blah, 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 blah. He goes, you got up at 10 o'clock. What do you do? And she goes, we own businesses. He goes, oh, you own businesses. How many businesses do you own? 2. Oh, congratulations on the 2 businesses. So I guess you don't have to open the shop till noon?
Yeah, you have to run them.
You don't have to open the shop till noon? And she goes, we pay other people to do that.
Yeah.
That's what we pay other people for. And everybody in the crowd is like, oh. And Tom goes, I think some of them are here tonight. I just couldn't help myself. I was like ugly laughing. I thought it was so funny. They got their balls busted. He did a great job. Anyway, I loved Tom Papa. And then we went to the zoo.
Oh my God.
Krissy.
I mean, I can't even believe it. The one weekend that I'm away, well, not the one because I've been away.
Yeah, you're away every weekend. What are you talking about?
But the weekend that I'm away, you come downtown where I am, you venture down.
We do.
2 days in a row?
We did.
What?
We did. Well, technically it was the same day. But anyway, they have this program through the library, which now is being cut because of course it is.
Yeah.
Where you go there and you check out a certain amount of books, you get access to a number of free tickets for things around town. The zoo, the aquarium, the science museum, Six Flags, Whitewater.
That's so nice.
And if it's one single ticket that allows up to 5 people to go into whatever you're doing, but it has to be available and you have to be able to go physically get it off the shelf. Mm-hmm. And so as you can imagine, it's in high demand. They only have like 1 or 2 of these per place that you can go. We've done this a lot. And Astrid is good because you can check online and see if it's there, see if it's not there. We live like a block away from the library, so Astrid will like get in the car in her underwear and run down there.
Yes.
So she did for the zoo because they, of course, are cutting that program. That's all I got to say. Mm-hmm. They're cutting that program, which is a beautiful, wonderful program. And Six Flags Whitewater, okay, I get it. Go pay for your own. But going to the zoo, it's like a cool thing to do with your children. Not everybody can afford it, including us. So we got the zoo thing, and that's why we decided to go down there, is because we had it. It was available. We had some help. Gustavo was in town. So we get down to the zoo, but we only have 2.5 hours because another one of my children is in school. We need to pick him up. We only have 2.5 hours, so it's a really quick run through the zoo, right? We're going to hit this animal, hit that animal, and do this animal, and whatever. So one of my girls is like what's that girl's name? Binky Irwin? Is it Binky Irwin? What's her name?
Irwin.
Binky Irwin. Bindi Irwin?
Oh.
Is it Bindi? I think it's Bindi Irwin.
Yeah, the Irwin kids.
Yes, she's an Irwin kid. She loves anything about animal. It doesn't matter what animal it is. She loves everything about animals. She loves looking at them, seeing them, watching them, anything. Okay. But the other kid is at the age where she's not entirely sure. She loves our dog and will try and ride it around the house. Yes. But everything else could be scary or it could not be scary. It's that age. That's the age that they're at. And they're forming their ideas and opinions about the world around them. And so we get to the zoo, and I'm not sure what's going to go on. And it starts off good because you start easy at the Atlanta Zoo. You go to flamingos.
Yeah,
Flamingos.
it does. It starts off the flamingos. It's a good zoo.
It's a great zoo. It's a great zoo. Is it the best zoo? No. Is it the biggest zoo? Not by any stretch of the imagination, but it's well kept and it's a nice zoo. And they got a nice little mix of animals. You start off easy with the flamingos. Flamingos. Nothing scary about that. They're flamingos. Well, we're there with the flamingos and you can feed them, right? And so we get the food and we throw it and, okay, everything's good. I like flamingo. And okay, great. You like flamingo. Wonderful. Let's go. It's animal bite. Animal bite me. Bite me, daddy. Animal bite me. No, the animal's not going to bite you. They're back behind the wall. Don't worry about it. Next thing you see, black rhinoceroses.
Yes.
Black rhinoceroses.
The rhinos.
The rhinos. The black rhinos, which are hunking, huge, stinky fucking animals. They're dinosaurs is what they are. They literally are dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And there's like 4 of them standing out there doing whatever they're doing, eating food mainly. And my daughter, who I'm holding in my arms, is kind of like, daddy bite, big, daddy big, grande, daddy big, grande. Yeah, it's big. Yeah, grande. Okay, listen, it's not going to bite you. You see that thing right there? It's keeping them back and us out. Like we're not going in. You're not going in. They're not coming out. Don't worry about it. Okay. So we turn the corner to go get a better look at the rhinos, like another spot where you can get a look at the rhinos. You can look down on them. They're in a mud pile. It's a very warm day, and there's a big mud pile, big sloppy, wet mud pile, and they're rolling around in it.
Yeah, it keeps them cool.
Yeah. And cleans them off and keeps the bugs away and whatever the fuck nature is doing, it's doing.
Yes.
But man, is there a smell. I mean, of course, it's the zoo. You know this.
The zoo smell.
You know the zoo smell.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's been to the zoo. You've smelled the zoo smell. Well, these 2 rhinos just twisting and turning in the mud. And it's fascinating because you never get to see this. And now I'm seeing it like 5 feet in front of me. And I'm like, wow, those things are big. I can't believe they can do that. That's great. That's wonderful. And my daughter is finally like calming down to the idea that they're there, we're here, nothing's going to happen at all. And she goes, Daddy, water, Grossie's mud. And I'm like, yeah, they pour some water in there and they make mud for the rhinos. That's how they do it. They probably take a hose and they put it in there. And my other daughter is, has many more words. She's like, oh, they take a hose. And I'm like, yeah, they probably take a fire hose and, splash it down every morning to get it. That's how they get that mud there. And the 2 rhinos stand up, they back their butts up to the fence and they unload a literal fire hose of pee. And it goes on not for seconds, for minutes. This pee is just flooding out of both of them at the same time.
They had to go.
They had to go. And they were going. Well, my daughter's screaming pee pee poo poo. The other daughter is like, I think that's how they make the mud, Daddy. And now I'm thinking to myself, that is how they make the mud, actually. That's pretty smart. This is how they make the mud. But my daughter's like, grossy, pee, pee, poo, poo. And I'm like, it's part of nature. And then one of them shits, and I'm like, oh my God. This is not like the Walt Disney movies. This is not all that slappy, happy shit. This is disgusting.
Real life,
I mean, it's Krissy. It was insane, the amount of pee and poop that was just flying out of these rhinoceroses and my poor daughter. So I'm like, okay,
time to move on.
Giddy up. Yep. Let's go. Let's move on to the next one, which are elephants and giraffes. And elephants and giraffes at the Atlanta Zoo are a special thing because they have what's called no barrier what do you call them? Exhibits. No barrier exhibits. Which is a little bit misleading because there are barriers, but they're like a string, an electrified wire, like 4 of them from 15 feet high to all the way to the ground, just 4 slinky little wires, but they're electrified, so those elephants aren't going anywhere. And the giraffes, I don't think anybody's afraid of the giraffes. Like, what are the giraffes going to do? You know what I'm saying? They don't want them to get out, but they can stick their head right down in and grab you with their tongue.
Oh, yeah, you can do the feeding.
You can do the feeding.
Of the giraffes. I forgot about that.
And we did do the feeding.
You did?
And I got some pictures. And it went about exactly as how you would have expected. Let's talk about that when we get back. So we turned the corner. We're back. So we turned the corner. Some guy wrote in and he was like, and by the way, do you remember Will the Champ?
Of course.
Will the Champ, longtime listener. Not sure that he listens anymore. I think he went through something. And anyway, we wish Will the best. I thought about Will the Champ actually this weekend at SmokeSlam because they had an eating contest. They had an eating contest, and he was a professional eater. That's what he did. Some of you might remember if you've been listening. I mean, I don't think we've talked to Will since season 3.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
So it's been almost 2 years. But he's a great guy, big fan of the show. Wrote us a couple songs, helped us out with some stuff. He was a good guy, and I believe I'm not going to get into it. Whatever. Anyway, I think he went through something. I think he's okay, but I think he had to take a break. So, but anyway, Will the Champ, what was I going to say about Will the Champ?
I don't know.
Oh, Will the Champ would say to us, why do you cut off the bye at the end?
Oh, yeah.
He's like, I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Meanwhile, there's lots of people who have said it's kind of a signature of the show. I don't know why I cut off the bye. At the beginning, I think I did it on accident. And then it just kind of stuck, right? But some people say when I'm coming back from break, it sounds like we're just picking up the conversation midway. And I went back. I don't think so. But anyway, we're back. Here we are. So I turned the corner and we go up to the elephants. And I don't know what. I guess we went at the right time of the day because all the animals are active, except for the lions, of course. They're never active. You never see the lions doing anything. The lions are always lazy assholes just sitting there. You can never get a good and they're always like, you can see their tail flapping.
You can you're always having to kind of strain to see them.
And there's 30 people straining to see the one tail that you can see. Don't go for the lions. That's basically what I'm saying. So we turn the corner. The elephants are active. They are walking around. Looks like they had some food. You know, they're playing with their trunks. They are right up against the fence. One of them is this big male, right? And he starts sticking his trunk in between the no barrier fence and sniffing my daughter.
Yeah.
And he's staring at her. I can see he's staring at her. You can see sentient life in an elephant's eyeballs.
Oh, yeah.
It is communicating with you. It knows you're alive. It knows it's alive. It probably has opinions on politics and baseball. That thing it's unbelievable. Elephants are unbelievable creatures.
They really
and
are.
all you got to do is look in one of their eyes to understand that. Look them in the eye. And if you have the unbelievable experience of having them look back at you in the eye, it's quite human. It's like you feel like you're looking at another human being. But it's not looking at me because I'm an asshole and there's no saving me. It's all over for me. It's looking at my daughter.
Aww.
And it's sniffing her. Like it's taking its trunk and sniffing her. And I'm like, oh my God, what a wonderful moment that my daughter is having. And she looks at me and you know what she says? Daddy, I need a snack. I need a snack. And I go, no, the elephant. And she goes, I don't care about elephant. I need a snack. These are the things that you realize when you're a parent. All these poignant moments that you see in movies and you read about, and there's a funny Facebook story. It's all bullshit. It's all made up. Because kids ruin everything. They ruin every moment. They just have a way of doing that. They don't think like we do. They don't think it's poignant. They don't think it's interesting. She's barely has hair on her head and can speak a full sentence, let alone understand that elephant might be sentient. If that had happened to me, I'd probably be crying at my age. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, my God. So, okay, so it's snack time. Let's get a snack. And then we roll them. We have this like wagon. We roll them up. The elephants. My older daughter is like, I want to feed the giraffe because it's giraffe feeding time. We just happen to get there at the right time. It's like $4 and you get a couple pieces of lettuce and you hand it to the giraffe who will stick its neck down and its incredibly long tongue and grab it from you.
Yeah, those tongues are long.
Yeah, they're very long. And they're long and they're strong. How do I know this? It took a Sirius satellite radio out of my car one time.
That's right.
I know it. So, but no hard feelings with the giraffes. I don't have anything against the giraffe community. I just want to go give my daughter a little special experience. And so I'm like, Astrid's like, well, why don't you go and you can go with the girls? And I'm like, let's not waste, this one's not, she's not going to want to do this. I mean, she doesn't understand. She doesn't even really want to be that close to, I go, do you want to feed the giraffe? Yes. Are you sure you want to feed the giraffe? Yes. You're not going to be scared? No. You're okay with that thing coming right at your head? Yes. I'm like, okay, let's go. Up and at 'em, everybody in. So we go, we pay for a couple of feedings. My older daughter goes with Gustavo. It's a beautiful moment. She feeds the giraffe. By the way, the giraffe's head and tongue are shaking. The giraffe is just as nervous of us as we are of it.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm not really that nervous about a giraffe. It doesn't even have teeth. What's it going to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I guess it could bite you, but I guess it could, if it wanted to, do some damage with its tongue. But I'm not that threatened by a giraffe. It just doesn't feel threatening to me.
Yeah.
But you can see its tongue is shaking. It's nervous, right? It's scared. So it grabs out of the older daughter's hand. Okay, I'm holding my younger daughter, and I'm like, okay, you ready? We're going to do this. We're going to hand that piece of lettuce up to that giraffe. Are you okay to do this? Yes. Are you sure? Yep. That's her new word. Yep.
Yep.
She's like, yep. And I'm like, you're not scared? Nope. And I'm like, okay, here we go. We walk up. The guy hands us the piece of lettuce. She puts it in her hand. She hands it to me. And I was like, no, you feed it to them. And she's like, no. And I was like, you don't want to feed the giraffe? And she's like, no. And I go, is it okay if I feed the giraffe? No.
No.
And I'm like, well, now I got this piece of lettuce in my hand. I got to feed the giraffe. So I walk up to the giraffe to give it the piece of lettuce, daughter in my other arm. And here's my daughter. The giraffe's tongue is going like this because now she's making this noise and the giraffe doesn't know what to make of it. Meanwhile, I'm in the middle of the two of them with a piece of lettuce here, and the giraffe like wraps its tongue around my hand, and it's like, ah. And then the guy goes, you want to try again? And I'm like, I don't think so. And my daughter grabs the piece of lettuce out of his hand, and I'm like, you want to feed him? Yep. And I'm like, okay, feed him. Nope. Hands it to me. And I'm like, what are you doing? What are we doing here? Meanwhile, Astrid's yelling, take a picture. Take a picture.
Yeah.
Turn so I can take a picture. And I'm like, take a picture. I'm just trying to get my arm not pulled off by a giraffe. I'm in the middle of a fight between the daughter and Gerard the giraffe here. I don't know what to do. What do you want me to do? It's my daughter. I hand the giraffe the food, and then you can have a moment where you can just kind of line up next to the giraffe and take a picture. Well, we sure did get a picture. We got a picture of one of my daughters going, ah!
Terrified.
Yes, while the rest of us have a shit-eating grin on our face. Never do the extras. The extras are always never worth it. It's never worth it. Just look at the giraffe from afar. And I mean, listen, is it a moment? Yeah, it's a moment. Is it like, are you communicating or connecting with the giraffe? Not really. You hand it a piece of lettuce.
Yeah.
It grabs it with its incredibly long tongue, and then that's it. You take a picture with, I don't know what the giraffe's name was. Bob? I'm not sure. I don't know. But the giraffe they sure are fucking cute.
They are. I love the giraffes.
We saw the gorillas. We went and saw the reptilians. The gorillas were having fun. They had a little baby gorilla.
That's good that they were out, because sometimes they're not out.
They were kind of hiding in and out of like the shady places, but they had a baby gorilla.
Aww.
And the baby gorilla was like begging the mom, like, tugging on the mom.
Yeah.
And the mom was kind of pushing it away, like, I don't want this. And to the point where eventually the male gorilla started walking over. I think he wanted to get involved and lay down some discipline. And that baby gorilla ran as fast as it could and went and hid behind a tree. It was like, oh, here comes Dad. Gustavo was doing the whole thing, like having the whole conversation, like doing voices.
Oh, yeah. I love that.
He's like, Mommy, I want your tit. I'm hungry. The papa was like, no, those are my tits. And then the very next day, there was a little play place here in Atlanta that had this guy, Dr.
Doolittle?
Yeah, Dr. Doolittle, basically. Exactly. Dr. Doolittle, who has a house full of animals, brings those animals for parties. He used to be a zoologist here in Atlanta, like at the zoo. And he brings those animals around for parties and shows and stuff. And then you can pet them and, he'd hang out with them. He brought an array of animals like I've never seen. These all live at his house. A turtle that's probably getting close to 100 years old, like a huge
big one.
turtle. A bearded dragon. A stick insect, like one that's that long that looks like a stick that was like crawling up his arm. Some of them you could touch, some of them you couldn't. Madagascar hissing cockroaches he brought. And I overcame a fear and I touched the hissing cockroach. By the way, the Madagascar hissing cockroach has there are 4,500 different types of cockroaches. It's one that is the cleanest type of cockroach, by the way. The dirtiest are the palmetto bugs that we get here. They have the most amount of germs, most amount of disease. Gross. Fucking gross. Okay. But so it's me and my older daughter, one of my older daughters, and we're there and she's petting all the animals. She just loves it. Same daughter who was in love with the animals. Petting all the animals. She loves it. We're having so much fun. Daddy-daughter day. And then he brings out the coup de grace, a hedgehog. A fucking hedgehog this guy had. A baby hedgehog. 3 years old, 3 years old, something like that. This thing was the cutest thing I have ever seen in my entire life. Feels exactly like you would think it would. It's not exactly, you don't want to cuddle with it at night.
Right.
But it is the cutest fucking thing. And this thing was like Mr. Personality. It was like doing a show for everybody. It's like doing a little dance and you could pet him and he's like... And I thought, this is the best thing ever. This guy, it's a house of horrors over there because he's breeding Madagascar roaches and stick figures and all kind of different shit. But, hey, listen, he's doing something cool for the rest of us. He's letting us get close to these animals.
He loves it.
Yes, he had a snake. He had a dragon, like an iguana dragon, not one of the dangerous kind, but that dragon. This thing was like, I don't know, 3.5 feet long. It was big. He had frogs, he had toads, he had all kind of shit, and he would take it out, and if you could pet it, if it wasn't dangerous, then he'd let you pet it. It was awesome. And I'm like, this is great. We have a great day. We go in the play place. We play for a little while. As we're leaving, I see this guy is packing up. He is packing up in a 1998 Ford Explorer that has not one window on it. Not one window. Every single window in the Ford Explorer is busted out.
Really?
Every one of them, including the windshield. It's like...
What?
Yes, there's no paint on it. It's like it's got no paint on it. It's like scrape paint.
Car.
That's what I thought. I thought if I'm convincing my wife to allow me to keep thousands of animals inside of our house, I'm probably also not going to be also getting a convertible BMW.
No.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She's saying you find the shittiest fucking car you can, and you put that car on blast because that's the only car you're ever going to be allowed to have. And you know what? Fair enough. Fair enough
on that, for sure.
It's a good weekend here at the Green household.
That sounds like it. Wow, all kinds of animals and new experiences.
The whole shebang.
Comedy thrown in there, Tom Papa.
He was so good, Krissy. I can't give him enough praise. I mean...
He's a good one.
I mean, I know I tend to overlaud our guests, but I gotta say, this was like... genuinely one of my favorite comedy shows. I wish I could do it all over again. I wish I could have the same experience again. This is one I'll remember for a long time. And I'll mainly remember because I was like crying. And Astrid was looking over at me like I was a child. She was like, are you okay? I'm like, this is funny. She found it also to be very funny. But I think sometimes stuff gets lost in translation culturally, so I don't think she 100% understood every single thing. Plus, there are times when Tom can talk real fast, and so I think it just some of the stuff flew by her. But you know what? Go see Tom Papa. Go see Tom Papa. All right. TCB's Endless Day, sponsored by 5 Hour Energy. Our good partners at 5 Hour Energy is going to be on May 31. Starting at 10 a.m. in the morning. Set your alarms, kids. Set your alarms. Mark it on the calendar. Clear the schedule. Krissy and I are going to be here for at least 12 hours that day, pumping out brand new content, celebrating 5 years of the commercial break, over 750 episodes, 30 downloads. We've done it all, kids. What else? What else can we check off the list? I don't know. You tell me. Man. I guess 12 episodes in one day. That's what we can do. Tom Papa, Tig Notaro, Reggie Watts, and others joining us. Ricky Lindholm. So many others will be joining us on that day. You can call in if you want to. You want to talk to us? We'll need the help. We'll need content, so call in 212-433-3776. 3TCB, 212-433-3822. Text us. Tell us you want to be a part of the show, and we'll communicate back how and when you can do that, when we'll be recording, when you can call in. It'll be a great day. We'll all join in the fun. Add the commercial break on Instagram, TCB Podcast on TikTok, and youtube.com/the commercial break. For every single episode, the same day they air here on the audio feed. Also, TCB Podcast, all the comings and goings, more about the endless day, and your free sticker. Woo! Okay, Krissy, I guess that's all. I guess that's all I can do for now.
I think so.
I'll tell you that I love you.
And I love you.
Best to you.
Best to
and
you.
best to you out there in the podcast universe. Until next time, Krissy and I will say, we do say, and we must say,
Goodbye.
Goodbye.